start singing.
Everybody good? All right, everybody, sorry for the delay. Welcome to the second regular monthly meeting of the Mayor and Council being held in Borough Hall Monday, April 25th, starting at 6:35. Missy, may the roll?
Mayor Nunziato.
Here.
Councilman Goldsack.
Here.
Councilman Leahy.
Here.
Councilman Coakley.
Here.
Councilman McGowan.
Present.
Councilman Beg Roberson.
Here.
Councilman Guzman.
Here.
Thank you. If you're willing and able, could you please stand for the salute to the flag? Missy, could you please read the provisions?
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law, Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, notice of this meeting was transmitted to the Record, Herald News, and filed with the Borough Clerk on December 13th and 30th, 2021, and is posted on the bulletin board outside of Borough Hall.
Thank you, Missy. We do have one presentation tonight for the Elks Club. Councilwoman?
Thank you, Mayor. It is indeed my honor this evening on behalf of the governing body to read the proclamation for the Rutherford Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks, Lodge 547. Whereas the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks has designated May 1st through 7th as Youth Week to honor America's junior citizens for their accomplishments and to give fitting recognition of their services to community, state, and to the nation. And whereas Rutherford Elks Lodge 547 will sponsor an observance during that week in tribute to the junior citizens of this community. And whereas no event could be more deserving of our support and participation than one dedicated to these young people who represent the nation's greatest resource and who in the years ahead will assume the responsibility for the advancement of our free society. And whereas our youth need the guidance, inspiration, and encouragement which we alone can give in order to help develop the qualities of character essential for future leadership and go forth to serve America. And whereas to achieve this worthy objective, we should demonstrate our partnership with youth, our understanding of their hopes and aspirations, and sincere willingness to help prepare them in every way for the responsibilities and opportunities of citizenship. Now, therefore, Mayor Frank Nunziato, on behalf of the Borough of Rutherford, do hereby proclaim the first week in May as Youth Week and urge all departments of government, civic, fraternal, and patriotic groups, and our citizens generally to participate wholeheartedly in its observance. And this is for April 25, 2022. Congratulations to the Rutherford Elks. Thank you, Mayor, for this proclamation, for this excellent organization, and their continued commitment to the young people of this community.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman. Missy, review of changes?
Yes, on page 5, under Recreation, there is a revision to the resolution number 95. On page 7, item 17, under closed session, we'll be adding an item 2, personnel matter, Recreation Department. And that's all I have. It was personnel matter in Recreation Department. We're going to be revising resolution number 95 on page 5 under Recreation.
Anybody else from the council have anything?
No, Mayor.
See. Motion, I'm sorry.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Goldsack. May I have a second?
Second?
Second by Councilman McGowan. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, have a roll call.
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Big Roberson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Thank you. Item 6, hearing of citizens. Anybody willing and able, please come to the microphone. Keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. Please state your name and address. Thank you.
Yes, Justin Wittrell, 506 Collins Avenue, Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. I'm a professor at Bergen Community College, Lyndhurst campus, and I'm here to invite Mayor, to you and the rest of the council to come to the presentation this Thursday night from 7:30 to 8:30 of Rocking It in Rutherford, Be a Tourist in Your Own Town. Mayor, the students did write a town song for you.
I will be there.
So, Council, I know it is taking time out of your personal schedules, but the students did put together a tourism project that will make you proud. They will not let me see it until Thursday night either. And this invitation is open to all of you and to the community and anybody you'd like to bring with you. We're on the 3rd floor of the Lyndhurst building. I will email the exact room that we're going to be in. They're deciding between 2 different rooms which have a screen. They also, too, will be promoting the downtown business district. They've done an extensive project to boost the Meadowlands Museum. We took the students on 2 tours there, and there's a series of holiday and special events during the summer that the students have put together for all of you. And when we're finished, all the marketing, commercials, and the song, although you might, if you like the song, you have to deal with the student who wrote the song for copyright reasons. They're looking forward to any questions and anything that you can see to make the project as realistic for them as possible. And Mayor, I want to thank you and everybody else who's helped me in town. The museum, the churches, and some of the downtown businesses have been very, very helpful to us, and we appreciate it. It gives the students an opportunity to understand what the real world is like, and you all have given us that opportunity. I appreciate that.
Did you say 7 or 7:30?
7 to 7:30. We ask everybody to be there by about 7:15 so everybody can settle in, and then afterwards there'll be a small Q&A. Any questions you want to bring up to the students and anything realistic enough that you can challenge them on would be very appreciated. They are looking forward to that. And then there's a small reception for everybody who's there and the parents and everybody who is attending.
Usually we don't do back and forth, but this is a different situation, so I will break protocol. Kim will manage it with all our schedules, see who's available, but I will be there.
Definitely. We're looking forward to impressing you, Mayor. And this way you and Mayor Sahe over in Patterson can compare notes to see who did it better. Oh, and they've got a game plan for all of you, and I hope you all can attend. And like I said, any input that you can give the students would be very much appreciated because they've enjoyed studying your town and making it even a better place for all tourists to come here and see all the wonderful attributes that this town has.
Thank you again, and since we are breaking a little protocol here, but I don't want you to have to sit through the meeting. If anybody from the council has anything they'd like to say, please feel free to do it now, so you don't have to stay here.
I just wanted to say thank you. I said you and the students had left already by the time I made my comments last time. I think it is a wonderful project. It's a real-world project that helps young people understand their value in their talent that they can bring just even to the communities that they're a part of. And I think Rutherford is so fortunate that you selected us this year, and I will definitely be there as well. I'm so excited to see what they do, so thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Councilwoman. I appreciate that.
Anybody else for the council? Any comments? Again, thank you very much for your time, and we will be there.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you very much, Council, for the time and effort and any input that you've given the students. I got to get off to an exempt meeting for the fire department.
Have a nice evening. Thank you again. Anybody else from the council, from the town wishing to speak?
You don't want me on the council. Bonnie Corcoran, 390 Montrose Avenue. Councilman Coakley, thank you for handing in a financial statement. And it was amazingly done. Wife's information, your information. Hopefully, all the rest of the council and mayor follow your example. Councilman Malahy, I actually went and opened some of the pre-budget requests of how they determine the budgets for each department. I just hit a couple of departments. I want to say the Board of Health, very nice write-up. It wasn't a Christmas wish list of, I want $25,000 for this and $15,000 for software, and, she actually wrote out a 4-page budget, and it was very nicely done. So if you could let her know, I haven't been able to make the Board of Health meetings. That brings me on to, I didn't think that we, as a borough, and, with inflation rising, I hope that the council takes that into consideration with this budget, because the Board of Ed is doing their budget tonight, and it's nowhere near the number that was on the presentation that the town gave at the last meeting. My Oprahs also came across that we had hired, Bogosian Design to do our website and everything since 2016, and she had an annual contract. Unfortunately, when I opened it, there's no contract for 2019, no contract for 2020, no contract for 2021. And I'm a little disappointed and shocked that we allowed a contractor to come in and not have a contract. When Gordon and I spoke, he says the bills go according to when the services were rendered. When I ran a business, you do it as according to the bills getting paid. So it didn't matter if you were billing for November. If you were billing in January, that's when the bill goes, January to December. So when I added up the bills for 2019, they were in line. 2016 was $13,000. 2017 was $4,800. 2018, $8,100. I'm rounding these off. 2019 went up to $9,800, no contract. 2020, we had COVID. I get it. We had a lot of things going on. $20,000. Pretty sure we have a thing of $17,000 and you need a contract. 2021, $35,000 to a contractor that didn't have a contract with the borough. I just went through the sprinkler contracts, and I'm opening them because the last meetings, 3 meetings, you've paid bills to the sprinkler contractor, and I get it, there's a lot of repairs, but those 3 bills, 3 consecutive meetings, $16,000 to a sprinkler. I hope there's a contract. A little disappointed with the mayor and council, because you know what? This is our tax dollars. I get it, you're all taxpayers too, but this is all of our tax dollars. There's a lot of people suffering in the world. And to hand out 6% raises and 11% raises to the Board of Health, and I get it, the Board of Health is private from us, but guess what? The money comes from the taxpayers. And I really think you guys need to hammer down and stop using our tax dollars as your personal piggy banks, because it's going to come down and bite you. This is not how I've run my business. This is not how my husband ran his. It's not how my family ran theirs. This borough is supposed to be run like a business. And it's getting quite disgusting and sloppy.
You're under less than a minute, just so you know.
Okay. I'll wrap up with 2 years ago, 2020, I brought up the crossing guards. When we get back in session, Bonnie, we are going to honor them. We are 3 meetings in public. When are we honoring our crossing guards? Because you know what? They're not getting much of a raise. I think they got 1%, maybe. And they worked their butts off during COVID, just like you guys. and they still work their butts off, and they get treated like dirt, because they don't get invited to the parties, they don't get honored. I know crossing guards that have yet to be honored in the January 1st, like everybody else in this town. And it's disgusting. Thank you.
Anybody else from the public wishing to speak? Come on, Mr. Zor, we know.
Adam Zura, 94 Vreeland Avenue. Good evening, everybody. I just want to have one question about the new budget. I'd like to know how the council was able to legally adopt the 2020 budget days before the information was published on the borough website. It seems to me that it was backwards. You had the hearing, before you had the meeting, like the last meeting, plus the budget, where the public was supposed to speak out, but yet there was no information on the website until maybe 2 days afterwards, after the meeting was concluded. So I don't know how you square all of that. I'd like an explanation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Zura. Anybody else from the public wishing to speak?
Just David Labruno, 423 Stuyvesant. Just a quick question, because I didn't have a chance to look it up. The ordinance that's going to be passed tonight about tobacco products and the change that's made about grandfathering establishments that were within the zone right now, is there any idea of the number of those, or what's the purpose of this ordinance in a nutshell? That'd be good. Thanks.
Anybody else from the public wishing to speak?
Pete Shiro, 86 Hobart Avenue, Rutherford. I'm still on the kick about the taxes in town. I know we hired a new tax assessor, and she's catching up with all the permits that are outstanding, but I still want to know, how are we going to catch up with all the people that are putting additions on the house without permits? So I think the town should totally get reassessed and let her catch up, and then she got from square one, we start off fresh. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else from the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, I'm going to close it to the public now and open it up to the council for any comments. Council? Nobody? Okay, see. Councilwoman?
Thank you, Mayor. For some of the comments that were made tonight, specifically about the availability of the budget, as well as referencing of the budget and its legal adoption, I'd like to defer to the Borough Administrator to reference those questions that were presented.
Yes, with regards to the posting on the website, the budget was posted after it was introduced at the first meeting, so it was available for 3 to 4 weeks prior to the public hearing. And then we spoke about the public hearing, and that's why we were able to meet the legal definition for adoption.
That's all? Okay, everybody else is good. The only thing I would ask, Bob, can you speak to the smoke shop? Or, never mind. Bo. I meant Bo, sorry.
So the tobacco sales ordinance prohibits the sales in drug-free zones in the borough. So the purpose of the ordinance is to restrict the sale in drug-free zones. No one took account, I don't think we have an account of how many are already in there, but this ordinance will prevent future openings of that type in the borough in drug-free zones.
Thank you, everybody.
Just quickly, Mayor. Just want to thank Bonnie for recognizing the great work of our health official in putting her budget together. The health department's got a decades-long history of being professional and providing residents with excellent services, and the same can be said for all of our departments. I've been a part of a lot of budget meetings, with the various departments, and the amount of time and effort that our department heads put into their budget is really amazing. So just want to thank them for everything that they do for us on a day-to-day basis. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Okay. We're good. We're going to move on now to the Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. We have up Resolution number 98. This is the Tamblin Field Improvement Award of Contract to Thomas & Sons Builders, LLC, in an amount of $507,450. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman McGowan. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Big Roberson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Thank you all. We'll move on now to consent agenda.
Thank you, Mayor. All items authorized to be consent by the council will be enacted by one motion. These items are routine in nature. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Lay. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Big Roberson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Thank you. Now we're going to move on to committee reports. Councilman McGowan.
Thank you, Mayor. This evening, I'd like to move resolution number 100, authorizing the enrollment and participation in the National Cooperative Purchasing Alliance. Motion.
Motion by Councilman McGowan. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Council President. Any questions or comments by the council?
Mayor, just for clarification, this is a necessary step for us to move forward with the parking meter initiative.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Missy?
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Big Roberson? Yes. Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Thank you. Next, under Municipal Alliance, I'd like to move the resolution number 94, authorizing the submission of a grant application for DMHAS Youth Leadership Funding. Motion.
Motion by Councilman McGowan. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Guzman. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Big Roberson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Mayor, this evening, I'm going to withhold my reports and save it for the next meeting. Thank you.
Councilman. Moving on, police, Councilman Lay.
Thank you, Mayor. I've got resolution number 101 to award the contract to IPS Group Incorporated for borough parking meters. Motion.
Motion by Councilman Lay. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman McGowan. Any questions or comments by the council?
Just quickly, this is just a way that we are going to finally modernize our parking meters, and looking forward to continuing this project, and thank everybody for all their efforts. And as we get to second reading, I'm sure we'll have more of an explanation.
Thank you, Councilman. I'd also like to thank you and Bob for getting this project completed and the addition of the 12 new parking spots that we will gain on Park Avenue, which is very much needed, up to and including 3 15-minute parking spots, I believe. Bob, is that correct?
I think we're looking at two, Mayor. I'm sorry, one on the Terrace and one on Springdale.
Okay, two. Sorry. Chief, did you want to add to that, or you good? All right, thank you. But it's a much-needed addition to the downtown area, and I appreciate everybody's work on this. Thank you, Councilman. Can we have a vote?
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Big Roberson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Thank you.
That's all I've got.
Thank you, Councilman. Public Works, Councilman Guzman.
Thank you very much, Mayor. First up, I have, I'd like to ask to move, motion to accept resignation of James Kegley, Labor 1, effective close of business, April 22nd, 2022. Motion?
Motion by Councilman Guzman. Any seconds, please?
Second.
Second by the Council President. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Big Roberson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Good?
Thank you. I have nothing else to add. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Coakley.
Thank you, Mayor. Regrettably, would make a motion to accept the resignation of Anthony Pashota from Engine Company Number 4. Motion.
Motion by Councilman Coakley. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Guzman. Any questions or comments by the council?
Quick comment, Mr. Mayor.
Absolutely.
I just want to thank Anthony Pashota for his time and service. He was one of the first men to step up as I took on the role of fire commissioner and helped me along my way. So Anthony, congratulations on this decision, and I wish you the best of luck in writing your next chapter. Cheers.
Thank you. Anybody else from the council? Seeing none, I would also like to thank Anthony for his service to our community. May I have a vote, please?
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Big Roberson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
That's all this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. What do we got? Buildings and grounds, Maria?
I have nothing tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Councilwoman. Recreation and Human Resources, Mark?
Thank you, Mayor. First up, we have a public hearing regarding the open space grant application for Memorial Park tennis court improvements. So with your permission, Mayor, at this time, I'd like to open up the meeting to the public to comment on this grant application and this grant application alone.
Anyone wishing to speak about this and this only, please feel free to come up to the mic. Keep your comments to 5 minutes or less, and please state your name and address.
Yes, Adam Zura, 94 Vreeland Avenue. This is a $500,000 matching grant proposing tonight, and it appears to be more in line with resurfacing of the Tryon running track rather than just the tennis courts. So I'm just wondering if there's anything else in that proposal besides resurfacing the courts, or if resurfacing is much more than whether it's much more than resurfacing the courts to come to that $500,000 price tag. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else from the public? Seeing none, I'm going to close it to the public and open up for council comment. Councilman?
Thank you, Mayor. Bob, and correct me if I'm wrong, we had looked at doing this project a year or two ago, and resurfacing wasn't an option because the resurfacing cost or the resurfacing wouldn't have lasted as long as we would have liked it to based on the cost. If I'm speaking correctly to this?
Sure, let me give you a little bit of background. So yes, we did look into this about a year or so ago. We had multiple contractors come in. We did get quotes of approximately $250,000 to $300,000 just to do a basic resurfacing. But they strongly recommended that we don't go that route because they said in 2 to 3 years, we're coming back to them again because of the cracks that are so severe in the surface. The work that they would do right now would be needing repair again in a couple of years. So the recommendation from the various contractors we met with and our borough engineer was to do a total mill and paving of the courts, start over, and that number is, $500,000 to $600,000 to do it correctly. So that's why we are applying for the open space grant to help offset the costs. It would be a one-for-one match, so if we get $300,000, the borough will be responsible for $300,000 as well. So that's the reason for the application.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate the explanation.
Thank you both. Anybody else from the council have any comments on this? Missy, could we have a motion? I'm sorry, could we have a roll call?
So we're officially closing the public hearing? Public?
I'm sorry, was there anybody else?
Okay.
Make a motion to close.
My bad, I apologize.
Thank you. Moving on, we have resolution number 95. This is authorizing the submission of a 2022 Bergen County Open Space Trust Fund Municipal Park Improvement Grant application. Motion.
Motion by Council President, may I have a second?
Second.
Second by Council McGowan. Any questions or comments? Anybody?
Briefly, Mayor, the change that the clerk had referred to earlier, the original resolution included with the agenda packet indicated an amount of $250,000. The updated resolution is an amount of $310,750. Bob, if you just want to advise as to why the increase in the...
We had the borough engineer give us a cost estimate, and what they believe the total project costs will be in excess of $600,000. So 50% will be the grant application request, and the other 50% would be the borough's responsibility, if indeed that's what the total cost of the project is.
Thank you. I appreciate the explanation. That's all I had, Mayor.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Malahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Big Roberson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have resolution number 97. This is approving the recreation program fees for 2022. Motion.
Motion by Council President, may I have a second?
Second.
Second by Council McGowan. Questions, comments? Roll call.
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Malahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Big Roberson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
And next, I have the resignation of Jessica Liscano, Recreation Director, effective close of business May 6th, 2022. Motion.
Motion by Council President, sorry. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Roberson. Any questions or comments by the council?
Briefly, Mayor, just want to thank Jessica for her service to Rutherford. She was an asset to the community. She brought a different perspective to the Recreation Department in terms of the type of programming that we were able to offer. Recreation Director job and the employees of that department do not have an easy task at all. It is at the heart of everything that we do, not only from a sports standpoint, but also from a cultural activity standpoint, community event standpoint. It is a job in which there are never 100% happy people. And having to deal with that on a day-to-day basis is not easy, but we give them all of the credit in the world for doing a tremendous job with everything that we put on their plate. So we thank Jessica and we wish her well.
Thank you, Council President. Anybody else from the council?
Yeah, just quickly want to,
Maria first.
Yeah, Jessica really left this wonderful imprint on the Recreation Department, and that is just a wonderful crew, and I know we will all miss her. Yeah, she really just brought such a wonderful culture, and yeah, I'm sad to see her go. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Council Tom?
thank you. Sorry, Councilwoman, I didn't see you over there with your hand. Yeah, just want to echo everybody's sentiments. I think Jessica did a great job while she was here, and really appreciate all the time and effort that she put in, and we just wish her all the best moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Councilman?
Jessica, just want to echo the same sentiments. I thank you for your time and service and wish you the best in your next steps.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman?
Thank you, Mayor. I too want to thank Jessica for her time and service to the borough. in wearing my resident hat and not a councilwoman hat for a second. I want to thank her, and again, always to that entire team, to Maureen, to Janice, for their constant commitment to the inclusivity of uniquely abled individuals of this community in that department. They have really championed that mission since we started that almost 7 years ago now. And Jessica picked that ball up from Barbara and kept moving with it, and it means a lot to the members of this community. And so that just a special thanks outside of the day-to-day operational stuff that they did. The fact that they never took an eye off of that part of our community that really needs advocacy. And it was, she's certainly a wonderful partner in that, and I wish her great success in her next endeavor. Thank you.
Councilman Guzman.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I too would like to thank Jessica for her services to the borough, and especially obviously to the rec department, and I wish her nothing but the best in her new endeavor.
Thank you, Councilman. I would just like to wish Jessica all the best. I appreciate all her efforts here. It is not an easy job in Rutherford. Pretty much nothing is. But I do think that we have a great team down there, and we will continue to do the best. And one thing I will tell you, Councilwoman, we're not stopping with these programs. We got more coming. Okay. Motion, I'm sorry.
Roll call.
I did go to the neurologist today, just so you know.
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Bay Roberson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Next up, we have an authorization for the Chamber of Commerce Holiday Parade to be held on November 26, 2022, with appropriate street closures. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman McGowan. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, the only thing I would like to see is Bo playing his trumpet on the on the float. But other than that, could I have a roll call, please?
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Bay Roberson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Thank you. And lastly, I have resolution number 99, authorizing the Borough Administrator to enter into an agreement with Simon Liscano as liaison to the farmers market. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman McGowan. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Bay Roberson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Thank you. The only thing I have on my agenda right now is the appointment to Margaret Scott, permanent clerk Title II, effective April 26, 2022, in accordance with the rules and regulations of civil service. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Leahy. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Bay Roberson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
We're going to move to the hearing of citizens for agenda items only. Anybody wishing to speak, please state your name. Keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. Mr. Zor, I think you should probably start sitting up front.
Yeah, but I like the view from the back. Used to wear the cap in school, you know? Adam Zor, 94 Vreeland. Tonight's combined resolutions to spend another $1 million on Tamblin Phase 1 and the tennis court improvements have again ranked the Recreation Department third most expensive in the borough, behind the essential police and DPW services. With all of that said, when can we expect to see the renderings and cost breakdowns for Phase 1 of that Tamblin project, as well as the subsequent projects that are alluded to in the fact that it's only Phase 1? Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Zor. Anybody else?
David Labruno, 423 Stuyvesant. Again, about the tobacco ordinance, I understand exactly what it says, that it's grandfathered, and I guess my question is the reason that it's written in that manner. Is it not that is tobacco permitted in the drug-free zones under state law as it exists now? So if there's, I'm not understanding the need for the language to read as it is to grandfather this, if we're just saying it's not permitted and it's already not been permitted. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Russo? How are you?
Well, a little bumpy, but okay.
I kind of figured that's why you're here.
Lorraine Russo, 130 Hobart Avenue. It's a very simple question. With the new meters, can we get some more senior citizen places to get a little closer to town where we can get our cars in an area where we don't have to walk for a while? Is it possible to get something like that done?
We don't dialogue, but I will address it after everybody else speaks.
Okay, that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pete? Anybody else from the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, I'm going to close it to the public now. I'm going to open it up to council for comment. Anybody from the council wishing to comment? You good? Yeah, we're waiting for you.
Lorraine, there she is. I take the glasses off. I'm sorry. I was just barring with Bob, our borough administrator. Thank you. As the KIP liaison, I'm going to bring that up at the next KIP board meeting to have a discussion. We've never had parking spaces in the general public that were designated just for our senior population, but I think you present a very interesting thing to think about. And so as liaison to KIP, I'll have that conversation with everyone, and if you don't mind, and I trust that you will, share that before I get a chance to chat with them, then I can bring it back to the mayor and council and see if there's something we can do. I think that was a great suggestion. Thank you.
No, but I'll let you. Go ahead. Thank you, and that is a great point. Unfortunately, we never thought about that. So we will get with our chief and our borough administrator, and I'm sure that Stephanie will be in touch with you, Lorraine. Thank you. We're going to move to close, correct? Oh, I'm sorry, ordinance on first read. Councilwoman McGowan.
The first two ordinances tonight under finance are dealing with our bond ordinance and our capital ordinance. And before I introduce them, if I can just have Bob just give a couple words to explain why they're written the way they are so that the public understands what we're moving.
Thank you. So yes, the plan this year is $1.9 million in capital projects for the borough, primarily a road program improvements, some money for renovations for our health department, our recreation department, equipment for our fire department, a vehicle for the police and fire as well, and some additional vehicles, trucks, sanitation trucks for the DPW. And the reason why it's split into two ordinances, one is the bond ordinance for 1.5, which is the amount that will be issued for notes at some point to fund the projects. The second ordinance is the capital ordinance, is $400,000. That is funds that are in the borough's budget already. You pay as you go. It's not debt being issued. It's money that we have on hand as part of the budget that was adopted last meeting that we will pay for various projects that I just talked about.
Thank you. Before I introduce, I just want to thank Bob and Gordon Stettler for their work with all of our department heads, specific to their capital requests. And I want to thank my colleague, Ray Guzman, who is second on finance. It is a very interesting process to go through the ask. Earlier this evening, it was referenced about the proposals that our department heads submit. It's an arduous process. We ask a great deal of our department heads in really thinking about a zero-based budget of how they spend their money. And that's not the case everywhere. And I can assure you that Ray and I had Bob and Gordon on that call for hours and with lots and lots of questions. And to their credit, the ask list was pretty significant, but understanding the restraints of spending this year and really focusing our effort and energy on what was important, the fact they were able to bring it to this number was a testament to both of their commitment that's been asked by the mayor and certainly has been reinforced by Councilman Guzman and I and all of you as my colleagues. So I just wanted to thank them before we introduce this tonight for their great work. It was really quite impressive. Moving forward. This first is the bond ordinance as discussed by our borough administrator. Missy, can you please read the ordinance by title only?
Bond ordinance authorizing various capital improvements in and for the borough of Rutherford in the county of Bergen, New Jersey, appropriating $1,500,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,425,000 bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof.
Thank you. I make a motion to move that the ordinance be passed on first reading and advertised according to law.
Motion by Council McGowan, may I have a second?
Second.
Second by Council President. Any questions or comments by the council? I'm sorry, I thought it was you, sorry. Second by Councilman Guzman. Anybody want to speak? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Big Robertson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Next is the capital ordinance for various capital purposes. Missy, can you please read the ordinance by title only?
An ordinance providing funding for various capital purposes of the borough of Rutherford and appropriating $400,000 for such purpose.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to move that the ordinance be passed on first reading and advertised according to law.
Motion by Council McGowan. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Guzman. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none.
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Big Robertson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. We're going to move to second reading first. Before we get there, I just want to thank you both for a lot of hours to put this together. Bob, I really appreciate what you've done. Gordon, I just want to thank you for all your hard work. Councilman?
Thank you, Mayor. On second reading, we have an ordinance to install angled parking on the terrace. This would essentially add 4 parking spots. I'd like to ask the clerk to read the ordinance by title only.
An ordinance to amend and revise Chapter 126, Vehicles and Traffic of the Borough Code of the Borough of Rutherford.
Thank you. I make a motion to move that the ordinance be passed on second reading and advertised according to law.
Motion by Councilman Lay. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman McGowan. I'm going to now open it up to the public for comment. Anybody wishing to speak about this subject matter and this subject matter only, please come up to the mic. Seeing none, I'm going to close it to the public and now open it up to my council.
Mayor, just quickly, I'd like to thank the Rutherford Police Traffic Division, the chief, our borough administrator, and our borough engineer for all their work on this. And Mayor, I want to thank you for your ongoing efforts to find creative parking solutions as well as pedestrian safety solutions. So thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the council wishing to speak? I just want to thank the chief again. It was an interesting ride to get this one done, but it's amazing that we actually got more parking spaces, and hopefully we're going to find more creative ways to create more, as Rutherford's downtown seems to become a boom that we all wished for. So now we just got to figure out how to follow it. Missy?
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Robertson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Next ordinance on second reading, I'd like to amend Chapter 116A, zoning of tobacco products. Missy, can you please read the ordinance by title only?
An ordinance to amend Chapter 116A of the Borough Code of the Borough of Rutherford entitled Tobacco Products.
Thank you. I make a motion to move the ordinance be passed on second reading and advertised according to law.
Councilman Leahy, may I have a second?
Second.
Second by Council President. Any questions or comments by the public? This is your time to speak. Please step up, state your name, keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. Okay.
So I believe the question was why? No, I think I heard your question, sir.
I was wondering why David
This
LaBruno.
isn't a back and forth.
Okay, David LaBruno, 423
I
Stuyvesant.
understand. We were leaving it open. He'll just answer you.
I'm sorry.
Okay, very well.
I'll try to rephrase your question. If I'm wrong, you can say, please stay. I want to address your question. So I believe your question was, why did we allow for grandfathering of the places that already existed?
Yes, that was the question.
And the answer to that question is because they would be entitled to remain anyway, because we couldn't take away the rights of those that were already there lawfully. So rather than to have any confusion, it's in the ordinance that they can stay, but we're not allowing anything additional to come up in that area.
All right, so may I ask a question? All right, I'll take my 5 minutes.
All right, go ahead. David LaBruno.
David LaBruno, 423 Stuyvesant. So then, I guess the question is, were tobacco products allowed since the state set up the drug-free zones, and were additional establishments then moved into those zones, or have we been policing that? That's it. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, close it to the public, open it up to the council for any comments. Seeing none. Missy?
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Robertson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all for me, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't want this to turn into something, so, Mr. LeBruno, if you'd like to reach out to the attorney offline, I'm sure he'd be more than happy to bring you up to speed on what our intention was. Now we're going to close, so, Missy?
Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act requires that a public body adopt a resolution at an open meeting before going into a closed session to discuss a matter which excludes the public as permitted under Section 7B. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council will hold a closed meeting at 7:28 p.m. on April 25th, 2022 in Borough Hall to discuss the following matters: personnel matter, police department; personnel matter, recreation department.
Motion.
Make a motion.
Council President, second.
Second.
Councilman Leahy. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mayor, just for the purposes of the record, we may take action in coming out of closed. Just for the public, if they want to stick around, there may be action taken when we come out of closed on one of these items. Thank you.
Thank you. Missy?
Councilman Goldsack?
Yes.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Robertson?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Bob, red or blue? You guys ready? Missy, could you please read the roll?
Back in open at 8:04. Mayor Nunziato.
Here.
Councilman Goldsack.
Here.
Councilman Leahy.
Here.
Councilman McGowan.
Present.
Councilman Big Roberson.
Here.
Councilman Coakley.
Here.
And Councilman Guzman.
Here.
Allegedly.
All right, back in open, Councilman.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to add resolution number 103 for consideration this evening.
Motion by Council President. Second, please.
Second.
Second by Council Malay. Any questions or comments by the council?
Mayor, just briefly, that resolution number 103 is a resolution authorizing an employment contract for Police Chief John Russo.
Thank you. Anybody else from the council wishing to speak before we vote?
We're just adding it
to
right now.
add-
We're just
to
adding.
vote to add it, I'm sorry.
Councilman Goldsack.
Yes.
Councilman Leahy.
Yes.
Councilman Coakley.
Yes.
Councilman McGowan.
Yes.
Councilman Big Roberson.
Yes.
Councilman Guzman.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Under police, we have resolution number 103, authorizing the employment contract for Police Chief John Russo. Motion?
Motion by Councilman Malay. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Goldsack. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none. May I have a roll call, please?
Councilman Goldsack.
Yes.
Councilman Leahy.
Yes.
Councilman Coakley.
Yes.
Councilman McGowan.
Yes.
Councilman Big Roberson.
Yes.
Councilman Guzman.
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I've got, Mayor.
Thank you, everybody.
Mayor, before you adjourn the meeting, I have one thing to say. Ms. Corcoran, I want to apologize to you. I spoke with our CFO, and apparently he thought he had put it up, but he failed to, so my misunderstanding as well. We did publicly advertise the budget, Mr. Zores, so we did meet the statutory requirement. So, and, yeah, so the budget was legally permissible to be adopted.
Thank you, Bob. That's it?
I'll make a motion to close.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Second.
Second, I'm sorry.
Second.
Third? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.